WMVU, the Radio Free Entertainment Network. Hanging out on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Did I say beautiful? I said beautiful. Did I say beautiful afternoon?
I thought you said beautiful afternoon.
All right, hanging out with you on this beautiful Monday afternoon.
Yeah,
how's it going, Darius?
Northeast Ohio. Good, man. How are you doing?
said Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, that's what you expect every day.
Right,
you know?
right. So you're the sports guy.
Yeah, at Nordonia High School. Yep.
What? Mm-hmm. Shut the front door. You're about to graduate and everything.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I'm really excited. And look, I can't believe you have a mustache.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you, you didn't have a mustache.
Yeah.
What's been going on in the world of sports?
It's lots been going on. You know, I'm a huge Cavs fan. So,
yes,
I'm watching every game. Most nights are pretty rough, but I mean, the Browns to me are the team that's really taken over the city of Cleveland, especially like in my school. You know, every day it's Browns talk. You know, especially with the team getting better. You know, we're now finally getting winning records. It seems like we found a stable coach, a stable quarterback. You know, everything seems like it's finally coming together now. So that's always the talk of the community, especially in Cleveland, obviously, with the NFL draft being here too.
Right.
There's been a lot going on.
So I didn't get a chance to really watch the draft. Shame on me. I've been really busy. Just got back from Dallas. I'm not gonna say that's my team, but it's kind of my team. I do like the I like the Cowboys, but my dad was a huge Browns fan. Huge.
Yeah.
He'd probably be rolling over. He would not be rolling over in his grave right now. But I do like the Browns when it comes to Browns. So anyway, my question was, what happened with did we get another? We didn't get another quarterback, did we?
We got a from what I remember. I do know that we did draft a wide receiver. We had the 26th pick. We got Greg Newsome II.
Yes, I did see. Oh, I did see that.
Defensive player. Not can't recall right now specifically the exact position, but I know he's a defensive player. And I was talking about this with a kid I do my podcast with, and he was telling me, this was the perfect move the Browns could make.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one aspect of the team that they need to improve on really is defense, because they have a very high-powered offense. I think if they can improve those defensive gaps, and now with the signing of Jadeveon Clowney, that obviously helps as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, the Browns are certainly heading in the right direction, and I believe they're making the right moves. So I'm very excited.
Right. And I know I'm going to get an opportunity to talk to you in the near future here. I'm going to make sure we pull an interview down for one of my shows that I have. I don't want to sneak peek. And do this to you, but I know it's early in the game. So how do you think high school sports is going to look? Have you been kind of, I know it's probably been, have you had a chance to kind of sneak peek it a little bit? Hoban, St. V, of course, that's my alma mater, St. V. Well,
I think, I can definitely speak in terms of Nordonia. I was the play-by-play broadcaster for the Nordonia boys varsity basketball team. And I can definitely say that, and being a varsity soccer player at Nordonia, I can certainly say that the soccer and basketball programs at the school, both boys and girls, have a very, very bright future. I think we have some terrific athletes, and a lot of those athletes, and all of them pretty much, are just terrific people as well.
Right.
So the coaching staffs for both boys and girls, basketball, soccer, they're very enthusiastic people, and they really have a lot of intellect when it comes to the game. So, especially, being in the bleachers and broadcasting varsity basketball games, I definitely think that Nordonia has a very bright future with the coaching staff and, some talented young players as well.
That's awesome. Well, soccer is one of my favorite sports. I played at St. V till I broke my knee.
Yeah, soccer's rough.
People think it's, we ran. That was more of we did more running than we did passing the ball.
I would always be scared, that when someone steps on your foot, you're wearing those cleats. So when you're trying to go after the ball, someone steps on your foot. It's not, does not feel good at all.
No, especially when they scrape your shins. That's the reason why you should wear shin guards.
Exactly. You have to wear shin guards. The refs actually check before every varsity game. Right. They check the entire field, make sure everyone's wearing shin guards. So.
Right. Well, anyway, it's Zarias and Christavus D hanging out with you. We're going to listen to some Afrojack. Hey, it's May the 3rd. It's today. It's cloudy. Cooler with rain tapering out, a couple showers, chance of precipitation. Chance of rain is 85%. Of course, tonight it's a passing evening shower. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and warm. We'll be right back with more music. WMVU in the middle of the afternoon. It's I almost said it was 4:35. It's not even close. I'm looking at the length of the song. Yeah. Have you ever thought about being a DJ?
I would not be a good DJ. Not gonna lie. I don't think that's the career path I would go.
You said that's not your wheelhouse?
No, I don't think so.
That's not his wheelhouse. Darius Seth, our resident guru on sports, hanging out with us. This weather, man, is this what kind of sports weather would this be?
This
football,
honestly,
football.
Probably football, yeah. I mean, you can play soccer in the rain.
Oh,
it's
I know.
It's hard though, but you can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Put your back into it. Okay, so we're talking about sports. We're talking about Northeast Ohio sports.
Right.
What did you think about Najee Harris, my boy? Now, once again, I gotta give you gotta get some background. So I lived in Alabama for a little while, right?
Right.
So I was a DJ and or on-air personality. I like to say that all the time. DJ on-air, whichever one. And when I lived down there, Ohio State did not play Alabama. And so because I was a resident DJ down there, I had to pick a team. So, of course, I picked Roll Tide, Alabama. So what do you think about Najee Harris? I'm using that segue, going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. What's your thoughts?
Well, it's funny you asked that because my entire mom's side of the family are all from Pittsburgh. So, they're all huge Steelers fans. Mm-hmm. So, when the Steelers do well, it does feel good for me because I know that my family down there will be super happy about it.
Right.
But I'm from Cleveland, so being a Browns fan is probably has to be ingrained in me. I would think.
Right.
But I like how the Steelers. You think about it. Since the mid '70s, they've only had 3 head coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you think about in any professional sports franchises, that's just absolutely. That's uncommon. That never happens. So,
right.
So when I think of that franchise, I think of stability, and I think they're going through a rough patch for sure with Ben Roethlisberger and his aging, but I think that with this draft choice, they're obviously going for youth, and I think that they have to find a way to do a better job of running the football because these last 3 years they've really struggled with running the football, and now you have Big Ben who's getting older, so they've got. I thought they made the right choice. I like the choice, and I was talking about this with the guy on my podcast as well. I think it's definitely a choice that the Steelers capitalized on in the NFL draft.
Yes. I can't even believe that I even knew about the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I'm on Facebook quite a bit or checking it out. So, what about college ball? Anything you want to kind of, and we're just kind of chowing it out right now, you guys. If you happen to tune into RadioFreeNetwork.com, we are in the midst of, I don't want to call it a relaunch, but a third quarter relaunch, I guess you could say. We keep expanding, so we haven't really been promoting this. But if you guys are just tuning in, our resident guru about to go to, what college is that again?
I'm going to Ohio University down in Athens.
He's going to go to Party School Central, Ohio. I hope I don't see you on TV. I'll be like, oh no!
You'll probably see me studying in the library.
Right, definitely. Learning about sports.
Exactly.
Sports statistics. Are you really into the stats of sports players, or do you think the talent? Some people say based on the statistics, like how they did in college, is how they're going to fare in the pros. What do you think about that?
That's a great point you bring up. But for some players, that's obviously the case. I mean, when you look at guys like LeBron James, who played right here in Akron,
right?
it was a risk for Sports Illustrated to call him the chosen one at the time, because imagine the pressure he was on, basically my age.
Right.
People calling him the next Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
But, he was a phenomenal high school basketball player.
Right.
Some are saying he's the best ever high school basketball player.
Isn't that amazing?
And those stats, those stats that he had back then have gotten better today. So the stats there speak for itself. But when you look at other players, like I look at Lonzo Ball, who's now with the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm not saying he's maybe he was a little bit overhyped, but I think that for him, college versus the NBA were two completely different worlds.
Right.
Because he's in his third year, and he's now finally understanding how to play the point guard position in the NBA and how it's different from college. So really, for everyone, it's different. I think when the higher the pick, obviously the higher the expectation. So when a higher draft pick doesn't perform to the standard, it makes people question their abilities overall. But I also think time, especially with Lonzo Ball's case, time can also be a healing factor. So I think with specific players, once you see their rookie year, you see how it plays out. And I think that's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the talent of LBJ. And once again, I don't follow sports like I used to anymore. I think it's because it was just so rammed down. I don't want to say, my parents would kill me if I said it was rammed down my throat, but being a St. Vincent, St. Mary, the sports. My dad was sports.
Right.
My brother was sports. He ended up playing at Mount, and I played. I kind of went against the grain. 70s, you probably weren't around. I was young too. You were talking about the days of Coach Sistone, which was like a real. I was just.
Right.
It's funny because I was just in Massillon yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
And I made a joke to this guy. I said, "Oh shoot, I better go back out there and move my truck because I have St. V plates."
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
A lot of these talented players, even in the music game, it's. I know you're talking about the stats of LeBron. It's like I don't want to say they either have it or they don't, but some people will have it. They just are natural talent.
Exactly.
It's just natural. There's just certain things that they can just do. In sports, I like to use my analogies of music too because, that's my wheelhouse, but there's just some people that just flat out it doesn't matter about stats. It's just, that's just their thing.
Yeah.
And if you put the right team around them.
Yep. And I also think too, work ethic is also a huge part. Like, if it doesn't go your way, are you willing to get better? I think that's a part that some people overlook when you look at the development of a player. When you look at, I think of the late great Kobe Bryant. A lot of people don't really remember this, but he kind of struggled his first few years in the NBA. He was in a huge LA market. Shaq just got there. Everyone, when you're in LA, attention of the town's always going to be on the Lakers. So, and Kobe, struggled those first couple of years, but he had the mindset of continuing to get better, and he had that confidence and that swagger, and eventually, 4 years, 2000 was the first year he won the championship, his first championship, and he just kept getting better. Like every year, Kobe Bryant got better, and that's because of the work ethic. Yeah, he was skilled, but he also spent countless hours in the gym working out.
That's a good point. I did see something on YouTube about that as I try to, suck in all the content that I try to suck in. It's, and then, like even with Radio Free Network and stuff, it's extremely, extremely difficult because you're wearing so many hats. You're station manager, your cleanup man, your program director, your audio man, your engineer, your promotions director. These are all titles that happen in the industry. I don't touch sports. That's your arena. But I'm saying all that to say I get up at 4 a.m. and I'm in bed by midnight. I'm exhausted some days, and that let alone my other responsibilities. So it's the work ethic, and I try to put in the work, and I try to pick and choose.
Exactly right.
And it's very critical across any platform. You made a comment earlier about, you said you'll probably see me studying. You got to put that work ethic in the early days. So by the time you're, by the time you're 30, you pretty much set it up. and everything else
is
everything else. Hey guys, it's Radio Free Entertainment Network. We're hanging out with our resident sports guy, Darius Sethna, headed to OU Sports. But we got a lot of great things coming up with the Radio Free Network. Got some new announcements coming, which I'm still going to kind of sandbag on. Don't forget the weather today, or actually tomorrow, May the 4th. It's May the 4th already. During the day, it's going to be cloudy, warmer with times of rain. Chance of precipitation is going to be right around that hot 75 degrees, but still rainy, so I don't know. Stick around, more music coming your way. DJ Jazzy Jeff, or DJ Fresh, I'm sorry, I don't know. I was thinking of DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, but here it is right here. WMVU.